Hello and welcome. This is NTA Nationwide coming to you live on the largest TV network in Africa. My name is Jumba Yusuf. The Federal Executive Council meeting scheduled to take place on Wednesday, October 3rd, 2018 has been postponed. A statement by Special Advisor to the President of Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, says ongoing political activities, particularly party primaries in which some members of the council are deeply involved in various states of the Federation, informed the decision. As curtain falls on the 58th Independence Day celebration, Nigerians have been reminded of the need to focus on what would unite the people rather than on differences that could lead to disaffection. At a gala night by the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo describes Nigeria as a gifted country with talents that must be harnessed for national development. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
The theme of the 58th Independence Day celebrations is harnessing our diversity for national development. And in his remark, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says Nigerians across the globe are known for greatness. The Vice President also speaks of the people's determination to succeed.
If you see somebody reading a book on how to become self-confident, know that is not a Nigerian. We are born self-confident. The reason why we're so optimistic is because we know that we're the best. We know that we're going to excel. It may seem like it's taken a while, and there are many problems, but every one of the over 1,000 days that I have been Vice President for, I grow stronger in my complete confidence that we're going to be the envy of the whole world in a few short years. Well, you might say that that is optimistic. Why not? I'm a Nigerian. Happy Independence Day. God bless you all.
Secretary to Government of the Federation, Boss Mustapha, used the occasion to reiterate government's commitment to transforming the country for the better.
This government is resolute in its resolve to pursue vigorously its programs in order to transform this country, provide the enablers to ensure that Nigerians achieve their dreams and live life abundantly.
Also at the occasion, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo flagged off the Touch of Unity for the 19th National Sports Festival 2018.
We are one nation, one country, put together by God Almighty, and we should love each other, work together to uplift this great nation.
A change, we have been seeing a glass as half empty. We have to begin to see our glass as half full.
So we just need to come together and let our diversity be our strength.
I'm particularly grateful to members of the Federal Executive Council and my colleagues, permanent secretaries, for your tremendous support throughout the planning and execution of the 2018 Independence Anniversary celebrations.
East, West, and South, tribes, languages, religious people, and religious perceptions. Lord, we pray, unite us together.
The night brings to an end the week-long activities organized by the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation in commemoration of the 58th Independence from the banquet hall of the State House. Jide Onifade, NTA News.
For Nigerians living in the United States, the nation's 58th Independence anniversary provided them a moment of pride and recognition as the green, white, green flag was hosted in the town of Hampstead in the state of New York. Foreign Desk correspondent Makut Samu Macham reports.
For the first time in the history of the largest town.
A rare moment of pride and fulfillment for Nigerians in the diaspora, particularly those living in the town of Hampstead in the state of New York, United States of America, as Nigeria's flag is hosted to mark Nigeria's 58th independence anniversary. Nigeria's Consul General to New York, Ben Okoyen, and Senior Councilwoman Dorothy Gusby presided over the event.
The United States and the town of Hampstead are more diverse, culturally rich because of the contribution of our Nigerian society. We are proud to celebrate those contributions here today.
Flag raising in this city hall says a lot about the confidence you have reposed in our nation and our citizens. We shall therefore continue to value this friendship and partnership that exists between Nigeria and the United States of America.
Members of the Nigerian community in Hampstead speak on Nigeria at 55.
We must be one. We are one nation. Nothing can separate Nigeria.
There's no comparison when it comes to the African continent. So I'm very proud of Nigeria, and Nigeria is still the greatest.
They have united us so very well, and that is good. On my own part, I want them to focus more on capacity building.
Now, the raising of the Nigerian flag here in the town of Hampstead in New York, United States, is significant to Nigerians who live in this town and elsewhere in the United States, as it gives another credence to their potential, both here in the United States and elsewhere. It also speaks of the recognition that the world attaches to Nigeria. From the town of Hampstead in New York, United States, Makut Simon Macham, NTA News.
Nigerians in Canada are admonishing colleagues at home and abroad to do away with personal interest in order to have a clear outline of true federalism, as the current administration continues its journey to a better destination with renewed objective stock-taking for a greater nation. Joe Osiago reports that this formed the thrust of the first phase of the 58th independence anniversary in the nation's capital city, Ottawa.
Ijo Voodoo Dance Troupe of Toronto, Ontario, entertaining members of the African and Canadian Diplomatic Corps as they converge on the capital city to celebrate Nigeria at 58. Leading the team of celebrants, Nigeria's High Commissioner to Canada was quick to remind the guests that as Nigeria consolidates its economic and political well-being, developed economies should take advantage of the nation's open and vibrant economy that now thrives on the requirements of global best practice with enormous promise for investors. The general consensus by Nigerians and the Canadian representatives is that Nigeria's democracy is on course.
What I think is most important is prudent management of resources and proper accountability. By the time we wage the war against corruption in an uncompromising manner, we'll all reap the benefits. We'll get there. I think agriculture is where we've shown the most progress so far because the president was very particular about our ability to feed ourselves, and that's how it should be.
The most important thing is that Nigeria is still intact. Contrary to some of the analysis by social scientists, political scientists who thought that our journey to democracy was sooner than later going to be doomed.
Nigeria's democracy is still the biggest in Africa. When Nigerians disagree, eventually they agree. And that is the beauty of democracy. Now you can see what is happening with people moving from one party to the other. Primaries are taking place now. And when they finish, everybody is happy.
Let's begin to see 70% participation. Let's begin to see, those who are not performing being recalled from office. I think that is the kind of maturity and participation that we would very much welcome in Nigeria.
Earlier, the Nigerian flag was hoisted at the Ottawa City Hall to stress the importance of the nation to Canada, while reassuring that the bilateral relations between both countries will continue to grow stronger. Joy Osiago, NTA News.
Nigeria's struggle to independence came to fruition when on October 1, 1960, it became a sovereign state. Timothy Yusuf in this report takes us through the country's journey to nationhood.
Nigeria's independence in 1960 ushered in the first republic with Northern People's Congress (NPC), led by Sir Ahmadu Bello, National Council of Nigeria and Cameroon's NCNC, under the leadership of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Action Group AG, led by Obafemi Awolowo, and Northern Elements Progressive Union (NEPU), with Malam Aminu Kano as its figurehead as dominant political parties. These parties were in control of their regions. The Ahmadu Bello-led MPC was in firm control of the north, the same way Azikiwe's NCNC held sway in the eastern part of the country, while Awolowo's AG was in charge of the western region. The parties did well for their regions in such areas as infrastructure, education, and commerce. But there were challenges of nationhood which lie heavily on the regional tendencies of the parties in their individual control. For many political observers, the central government somewhat seemed to subordinate the regions. The first major challenge of journey to nationhood was the 1963 political upheaval and crisis. As the years went by, the first military interregnum came up, during which the political crisis resurfaced, leading the country into civil war. The situation halted the country's political development for a period of 3 years, during which the civil war lasted.
My advice to these young people is please do not take us back to those harrowing days. You probably do not know what it is.
I believe we have fought one civil war too many in this country. So those who experience it will run away from it.
I will urge and advise our younger generation to use talent and brain to sort out problems, not arms.
The military government continued till 1979 through its own checkered reign, which brought in the Second Republic. At the demise of that republic, there was another 15 years of military incursion into the nation's political history, after which democracy resurfaced in Nigeria in 1999 with the Olusegun Obasanjo's administration. From 1999 to date, with President Muhammadu Buhari at the helm of affairs, democracy in Nigeria has had its challenges and vagaries of operations. However, in spite of all this, the experience over the years has shown a ray of hope to Nigerians as a nation that democracy has come to stay, with the people having a greater part of stakeholdership in all sectors of the economy.
It has been 58 years, and we've had our ups and downs, but clearly the future is bright.
Really, when you consider that this is a nation made up of so many ethnic groups, so many interest groups, I must say we've really tried. It's not easy.
It's been wonderful. Nigeria, like every other nation, has our own challenges, but I see us moving past all of those challenges if we decide to work together as one.
In spite of challenges of nationhood still ahead, Nigerians are, however, confident that the system will work for the good of the people, especially in the face of the landmarks being achieved by the Buhari administration.
No system is perfect, but actually Baba has already contributed a lot.
If you check for the past how many years, we cannot gather like this. We will be afraid, but as for now, we really thank God and we are happy for that.
Nigerian challenges cannot be solved in one day. We need time. We need patience.
In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Nigerians have been reminded of the need to understand and appreciate the magnitude of challenges facing the country and also actively contribute to addressing them. This was high point of the views expressed by guests on NTA's flagship program, Good Morning Nigeria. Oyeyemi Ajayi has the details.
Discussing Nigeria in the eyes of the world at 58 years, these international relations experts expressed their diverse views about the journey so far on the country's foreign affairs policy, while emphasizing that the foreign policy of any country is determined by the internal policy actors.
For me, the issue is that our leadership, since 1960, they have not shown serious commitment to nation building and state building in Nigeria.
That there is too much government
without much of governance. And this is reflected, in my view, in the rather weak institutions of state that we have, with very poor capacity to even implement and execute government policies and programs.
On how Nigeria can maximize our contributions in the international scene, the guest affirmed that the Foreign Affairs Ministry needs to be repositioned and strengthened, reiterating the fact that there is no reason why Nigeria should not be elected into the United Nations Security Council if things are done rightly.
We want to see that all Nigerians are equal. We want to see a Nigeria where the rural people, the marginalized, there is an economic policy that is aimed at growing.
If a government is in place that is investing heavily and massively for the benefit of the majority of the citizens, I think that's the missing link that Nigeria has suffered for a very long time.
The guest advised that every government should always make Nigeria the centerpiece of the country's foreign policy, which has been absent so far. In Abuja, Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
Another tanker tragedy in Lagos. Details with Hingino in Lagos. Hello, Hingino.
Thank you, Jummai, for joining us in Lagos. The All Progressives Congress APC governorship primary in Lagos has concluded voting in all the wards in the 20 local government areas of the state. Ken Egbeluge, who monitored the exercise in some local government areas in the metropolis, reports that the exercise is hitch-free.
In most of the wards monitored in the metropolis, voting has been concluded while counting of votes has started.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Some party members who spoke described the exercise as peaceful.
You can see people are lining up and there was no trouble, no anything. We are very orderly prepared and we are quiet.
Very peaceful and transparent. You can see the opponents that they are unmolested. We are here unmolested and unperturbed. So we are very happy.
So interesting. I really love it, the way they are doing it right away. I really love it.
Everything is in order and we like to change in Lagos.
It's okay. It's okay, it's fair.
The two candidates are the incumbent governor, Akiwumi Ambode, and Babajide Sanwo-Olu. The final result is being expected from the party secretariat in Lagos. Ken Egbeluge, NTA News.
Another fire accident attributed to a petrol leakage from a tanker has destroyed 7 vehicles in Lagos. The incident occurred near Ojo Barracks on the Lagos-Badagry Express Road. Paul Omukago reports that no life was lost.
Kazim Alabi left home with his space bus for the usual hustle for his daily bread early Tuesday. Moments later, what happened to him was something he never bargained for, as his vehicle was trapped in the inferno that gutted 6 other vehicles. Unlike other motorists and eyewitnesses who spoke on the incident, he was too devastated to speak on camera.
At 4 a.m., I stood there. Then everywhere was smelling for fuel. So I told my driver, please don't pass this place. You have to pass the other road there. Immediately we get to under bridge, it's in explode.
Every day, vehicle fell down. Go to Yanoba. Last night, they picked up a tanker. They raised a tanker that fell. Before the daybreak, another container has already fallen down there again.
The Federal Road Safety Corps, IBA unit of Lagos State, intervened at about 7 a.m. to clear the wreckage on the road.
Tanker driving down the bad portion of the road and trying to maneuver. There was the PMS spillage over the road there. Fortunately, the tanker left unhurt. His identity is unknown.
Broken down vehicles like these ones between the barracks Yanoba axis of the road, motorists say are partly responsible for frequent accidents on the road.
Immediate repair of Okokomaigo section, Yanoba, Vokes, Barracks, Abulado are what motorists are suggesting as a way out of the frequent accident on this section of the road. In Lagos, Paul Omukago, NTA News.
The Federal Institute of Industrial Research, Oshodi Firu, has concluded plans for a reality TV show that will project and strengthen indigenous technological breakthroughs and create sustainable jobs and wealth for Nigerian youths. Director General of the Institute, Professor Gloria Elemo, stated this at a press briefing after the Southwest auditioning of prospective participants of the reality TV show in Lagos. Thomas Ogbetere reports.
The auditioning exercise, which had over 2,000 participants from the Southwest geopolitical zone, saw 75 people emerge as qualified for the next level of screening. Director General of the Federal Institute of Industrial Research, Oshodi, Professor Gloria Elemo, expressed optimism that the Firo House reality TV show will produce youths that will use science and technology to transform the industrial state of the nation. She noted that viewers will also have the opportunity to learn some of the new technologies that the reality show will give birth to.
Sustainability, I have no fear, because seeing this first group will attract more youth into it. The beauty of what we're even doing is that apart from the winners, we are making plans and arrangement to see how we can also target the others that have participated in picking up one or two technologies and enhancing them.
Being fired doesn't mean you're going to stay back and then still go through some of those training with them outside the house, because everyone that qualifies to be in the house, they are going to be set up.
So this program will now improve my products and make it better, and it could stand international standards.
We want to bring in new technology. There are a lot of equipment that we need to invest on and several other things.
The auditioning and screening exercise will move to other states like Kano, Anambra, and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Only 21 housemates are expected to make it to the house, and they are expected to spend 8 weeks in the house eventually. In Lagos, Thomas Ogbetere, NTA News.
That is the much we can take from here as we join Vivian in our Port Harcourt studios for more on Nationwide.
Hello, Hingano. A very warm welcome to NTA Port Harcourt. In keeping with its resolve to contain economic sabotage in Rivers State, the Nigerian Security Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, has paraded 54 suspects arrested in connection with illegal bunkering. State Commandant NSCDC Mohammed Lawal Haruna disclosed that the arrest was made possible through interagency synergy. Diankume Ulolo completes the story.
The 54 suspected oil bunkers were arrested at different locations within the coastal line of the state. 170 drums containing adulterated diesel, 12 trucks, and 3 speedboats used for illicit business were arrested at different locations. Other items include 2 buses, 1 sports utility car loaded with adulterated diesel, 1 barge, and a vessel.
We cannot rest on our oars unless we are able to bring all these people to book or bring oil theft and pipeline vandalism to the barest minimum.
State Commandant NSCDC River State said the suspects and exhibits will be treated according to the provisions of the law. Meanwhile, 40 of the 54 suspects arrested are currently facing trials in court and will be convicted if found guilty. In Port Harcourt, Yanukume Ulolo, NTA News.
Still security, the Nigerian Navy ship NNS Pathfinder Port Harcourt has apprehended 14 suspects allegedly involved in illegal transloading of petroleum products across 3 locations within Port Harcourt metropolis. Kingsley Amadri reports that the products have been handed over to men of Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps NSCDC for prosecution.
The men of the Nigerian Navy, in their continuous surveillance within the state maritime domain, raided 3 hideouts where the suspects were carrying out their nefarious activities. At Marine Base, men of NNS Pathfinder arrested 9 suspects who were transloading crude oil into 6 waiting 33,000 liters petroleum trucks, while 1.9 million naira cash was recovered from them. One suspect was picked up at Rumolumini waterfront, while another 3 syndicates were arrested at Eleme for transloading automated gasoline oil, popularly known as diesel, from wooden boats into petroleum tankers. The outcome of the preliminary investigation led to this handover in line with the harmonized standard of operation for security agencies.
The 14 suspects, 12 wooden boats with products and 9 trucks were detained to enable the base conduct preliminary investigation.
Head Intelligence and Investigation Department of NSCDC, Ichela John, shortly after receiving the suspects and the exhibits, said the agency will do the needful to serve as deterrent to others. As at the time of this report, the NSCDC's officials have taken over the suspects and the exhibits. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
The hydrocarbon pollution remediation project, HYPREP, has commenced the final stages of bidding by companies for the cleanup and restoration of polluted sites in Ogoni land. Onengie Fineface has details.
400 companies participated in the initial technical and commercial bidding for contract to clean and restore hydrocarbon polluted sites in Ogoni land. Less than 200 of those companies are participating in the final stage of the process, out of which 21 will be qualified for the job. Representative of the Minister of Environment, Ishiaku Mohammed, and the HYPREP project coordinator, Marvin Dekio, say the selection process is transparent and will produce only competent companies to implement the cleanup.
Success in this will ensure that the entire Niger Delta region is covered. And that is the beginning of the process of atonement for years of degradation and neglect.
It's so transparent that the companies that will come out are the companies with the best technologies and capabilities, both viability, commercial viability in carrying out the job.
The final selection process is expected to round off by the first week of October, while boots are expected to hit the ground before the end of the third quarter of 2018. In Port Harcourt, Onengie Fineface, NTA News.
That's it from here. NTA Nationwide continues after the break.
Hate speech is not a joke. It incites genocide and crimes against humanity. Most of Africa's civil wars are caused by hate speech from one tribe against another. We don't want it here. The Nigerian government stands firm against hate speech.
Under no conditions whatsoever should we tolerate or excuse or justify hate speech or hateful conduct of any kind, especially where such is illegal.
There's no doubt that the resurgent push for separatism, as well as the rising cases of ethnic and religious disharmony, are all traceable to the growing phenomenon of hate speech.
One nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
Nigeria, one nation, one people.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Nigeria at 58 and the journey so far on NTA Tuesday Live this week. The challenges and prospects with those who have seen it all. Tuesday Live at 10:30 p.m. every Tuesday promises to be educative and informative. Don't miss it.
For years, the NTA has been promoting science, technology, arts and crafts under the tagged name National Children's Expo. We are set with another edition as we gather children around Nigeria, junior category ages 6 to 12 and senior category ages 13 to 18. The theme for Expo 2018, Achieving Self-Sufficiency in Agriculture. meeting the challenges of security and exposition of alternative energy as pathways to national development. Date, October 21st to 25th, 2018. Venue, NTA Headquarters Arena, Area 11, Garki, Abuja. We are set to celebrate the best of innovation across the country. For more information, please call the following numbers. NTA ETV, promoting learning.
Zuma Film Festival 2018 Abuja. Theme, Archiving for Creativity. Date, December 1st to 7th, 2018. Featuring film screenings, masterclasses, special tributes, NFC Annual Film Lecture, NFC Annual Essay Competition Awards, special national and state days, Lifetime Achievement Awards, and Zuma Film Festival 2018 Awards. Submission of entries for non-competition, competition and screening is ongoing and closes September 30th, 2018. All entries should be forwarded to the festival director, Zuma Film Festival Nigerian Film Corporation, headquarters in Jos, and or its zonal offices in Abia, Lagos, Kano, Asaba, Yola, and Abuja, or through the Film Freeway online platform, www.filmfreeway.com. For further inquiries, call 0033146842, 08052728321, or 08063390420, or visit the website www.zumafilmfest.gov.ng. Zuma Film Festival 2018. December 1st to 7th, Abuja, Nigerian's foremost film festival.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous, whether you do it for fun or for political gains. Real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA.
Welcome back. Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu has emerged the All Progressive Congress gubernatorial election candidate in Kebbi State. Correspondent Usman Abdullahi Shehu reports that Governor Bagudu gained another opportunity to contest in the 2019 election through affirmative declaration of 3,818 APC delegates in the state.
3,818 All Progressive Congress delegates from 21 local government of Kebbi State expressed support and affirmed Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu as the candidate of the party to contest in 2019 gubernatorial election in the state. Governor Bagudu emerged victorious through affirmation, being the sole aspirant in the party primaries held at Haliru Abdu Stadium in the state capital, Birnin Kebbi. The governor, who expressed gratitude to the people of the state for the nomination, acknowledged the success of the APC administration in the country and assured to redouble effort in provision of dividend of democracy in the state.
That the All Progressive Congress in the last 3.5 years have done very well to earn the confidence of Nigerians.
The chairman of the APC National Committee of the gubernatorial primaries in the state, Professor Osemehe Osumbo, said the process of the primaries is in accordance with the constitution of the APC. The APC state chairman Balasani Kangiwa urged supporters of the party to come out en masse and vote for the party come 2019 general elections. In Birnin Kebbi, Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
A former member of the House of Representatives, Emmanuel Bello, has emerged SDP governorship candidate in Adamawa State. Yusuf Jika reports.
783 accredited delegates from the 21 local government areas of Adamawa State participated at the primary conducted under the watch of INEC officials, security personnel and political observers. Shortly after voting, counting and collation of the Congress, Chairman SDP Gubernatorial Electoral Committee Chris Njoku declared Emmanuel Bello as the party's flag bearer after polling 634 votes out of 783 accredited. In his acceptance speech, the gubernatorial candidate of the party, Emmanuel Bello, commended the high level of maturity exhibited by delegates and promised them better days ahead for the betterment of all. He said if voted into power, he will ensure good governance and all-inclusive administration through giving much priority on building critical infrastructure, youth empowerment, and revitalization of agriculture with a view to impacting positively on the lives of citizens.
As I accept your nomination today, I pledge before God and man that I will not betray your trust and goodwill if elected as governor of Adamawa State.
Speaking on the occasion, State Chairman Social Democratic Party John Muba said SDP stand the test of the present predicaments of the state and promised to improve on the lives of people. In Yola, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
African Democratic Congress, ADC, has appealed to all Nigerians to be patriotic and desist from acts that will be inimical to the growth and development of the nation. This was at a media briefing in Abuja to mark the maiden edition of its Handshake Across Nigeria project, an initiative geared towards reigniting the spirit of patriotism, love for one another, peace and unity.
ADC believes in one united Nigeria. We believe that only Nigerians can make Nigeria great again. ADC believes in good governance and equality of opportunity, an egalitarian society for all.
The African Democratic Congress National Handshake Day is to be observed across Nigeria on the 1st of October every year by the party. Appraisal of APC primaries in Jigawa State. Rukaya has details in our Kaduna Network Center. Hello, Rukaya.
Thank you and welcome to Kaduna Network Center. All Progressives Congress APC in Jigawa State has earned commendation over what stakeholders describe as the most peaceful and credible governorship primary election held in recent time. They were speaking shortly after Governor Muhammad Badar Abubakar was declared winner of the governorship primary in the state. Ibrahim Sani reports.
Success was recorded during the just concluded APC governorship primary election in Jigawa has direct bearing with proper coordination, adequate preparations, as well as the synergy between stakeholders that earned the process commendation.
You can see how the delegates are happy and calm, and everybody is voting, and this is quite interesting.
One may not be wrong to attribute the credibility of the exercise with the conduct of the coordinators, whose commitment and doggedness in complying with all electoral laws led to the greater outcome, as attested to by both delegates and the key players.
And people are happy, and it's orderly. People are casting their votes, and the system is very transparent.
We have gotten the cooperation of all stakeholders, the party at the local level, the contestants and their agents, and then the panel that was sent to Abuja, and the local organizing committee.
INEC was also present and impressed by the conduct.
INEC as an authority of our election, we are here to supervise the conduct of these primaries.
8 candidates are aspiring for senatorial seats under the umbrella of All Progressives Congress, APC. From Dutse, Ibrahim Sani, NTA News.
A group of youth in Kaduna State has resolved to support the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari, pledging 2 million votes for the president in the 2019 general elections. The youth made this known at an APC stakeholders forum. Muhammad Umar Ajingi reports.
The forum brought together young professionals and emerging leaders to break barriers against youth in leadership in Nigeria, with a view to bringing positive change. The group of young minds commended the Not Too Young to Run initiative, appealing for more opportunities in governance.
Youth leadership barriers are back, and they include institutional barriers, such as cultural discrimination against women.
Governor Nasiru Ahmed El-Rufai says the APC government will continue to ensure that credible and patriotic young Nigerians get access to political power for fresh ideas to move the nation forward. The governor at the forum inaugurated APC Youth's Mobilization Platform tagged APC Lungu Lungu, a grassroots program and a website to engage electorate and government activities. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Umarajingi, NTA News.
Away from political matters, now agriculture. Rice farmers in Kano State are scaling up production to check importation and strengthen value chain to promote local milling and padding cultivation in line with the present administration's policy on homegrown rice. Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports that the farmers arrived at this during a strategic meeting which will enable them increase rice production. This reports.
For the commencement of every year harvest of paddy rice in Nigeria, stakeholders meet to fashion out ways of bringing new methods to milling companies' rice value chain. This meeting in Kano is in line with the impetus provided by the federal government policy of agricultural transformation agenda. Stakeholders believe that streamlining the integrated centers established across the country that produces rice will assist in timely distribution of certified seeds. Other areas of integration include free distribution of rice farming booklets, advisory of pre-harvest and post-harvest quality management, and free training of rice farmers.
All the farmers, they motivated almost our youth to go back to farm since before the inception of the government.
The meeting brought together farmers from rice-producing states of Adamawa, Taraba, Benue, Niger, Jigawa, Kano, Kebbi, Sokoto, Zamfara, among others. Muhammad Rabiu, NTA News.
And those are our contributions from Kaduna. It's over now to Kemi in Ibadan.
And welcome to Ibadan. Stakeholders in the electioneering process have met in Okeogun area of Oyo State to discuss how to ensure and sustain free and fair elections across the country. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, convened the meeting to consolidate democracy in Nigeria. Correspondent Goke Alomoge was there.
Key players in election in Okeogun zone focused on the level of preparedness by INEC and various issues peculiar to elections, ranging from vote buying to confusion on election timetable. Emphasis was laid on non-collection of permanent voter cards, PVC, with Oyo State ranking second with the largest number of unclaimed PVCs. Stakeholders were urged to synergize with the Commission in ensuring that eligible voters exercise their franchise in a peaceful manner.
We don't need to hand over everything to INEC. INEC only cannot do it. Even in the area of sensitization, stakeholders should not leave everything to NOA alone.
Our political parties should inculcate the understanding of principle of party system. Ensure that your people understand what it means to engage in the process.
Participants at the event called for more voters' education to reduce the high number of invalid votes during elections.
They should try to make pilot paper to be more elaborating and bold enough and have enough where the people will be able to thumbprint at the appropriate place.
In line with the Commission's timetable, Presidential and National Assembly elections will hold on February 16, 2019, while governorship and state assembly elections will hold on 2nd of March 2019. In Ibadan, Goke Alamoge, NTA News.
64 rivers and blocked drainages across Oyo State have been dredged as part of efforts to prevent flooding. Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources Isaac Ishola said this during site tour to dredged rivers within Ibadan metropolis. Ayomiko Ajibola has more.
With the development objective to improve the city of Ibadan flood resilience by strengthening risk identification and response and undertaking flood risk mitigation, the Ibadan Urban Flood Management Project, in conjunction with Oyo State Ministry of Environment and Water Resources, have taken steps to prevent flooding in the state, to restrain activities that could block waterways and drains.
I've been here for like 10 years, and I knew what we've been observing here, especially as per flooding, where the erosion will flood houses, take away properties. So we appealed to the government, and they came to our rescue promptly.
Some people have been forced to leave the environment here because of the flood.
Some people were forced to go and build another house. Even myself, I'm already building another house around here because of the problem caused by this flood.
76-year-old Elayele Dam is also under massive rehabilitation to improve the dam capacity to hold more water and prevent flooding.
We have to raise up the dam of 1.8 meters. So, who means raising up the dam means raising up the intake tower as well.
These many efforts, coupled with the mercy of the Almighty God, have paid off handsomely by able to avert any major flood disaster in Ibadan this year, in spite of the frightening petitions.
Over $200 million have so far been spent on dredging of rivers by the Oyo State government. In Ibadan, Ayomeku Ajibola, NTA News.
Over 1,500 youths have benefited from Aje Ogunguniso Sustainable Free Computer Empowerment Training Program. The program, sponsored by the Olubadan of Ibadan Land, Obasaliu Adetunji, drew participants from the 33 local government areas of Oyo State. Correspondent Shola Wahid reports.
Unemployment is described by some stakeholders as societal menace. That is why efforts are being made to reverse the trend. As a way of contributing towards the reduction of unemployment in Nigeria, the Olubadan of Ibadan Land, Obasaliu Adetunji Aje Ogunguniso I, organized a free computer training program for over 1,500 youths in Oyo State. The 5-week program is intended to empower the youth.
The broad spectrum of the training program includes traditional cultural value restoration. So beneficiaries will continue to learn about vocations which are indigenous and traditional.
Some of the beneficiaries commended the initiative.
I give thanks to him for the privilege being given to us by him.
This opportunity has enlightened me more about computer.
Oba Adetunji said his intention was to make the youth self-reliant. In Ibadan, Shola Wahid, NTA News.
We now take another break for some messages. Nationwide continues after the break with Jumei in Abuja.
This is my first experience riding this train. I've heard about it so much all around the city.
Actually, I'm surprised that such a development is coming to us.
I was impressed, saw neat. And actually, you can compare with any type of train, all over the world.
I could not imagine that I'll be going from Edo straight to the airport by train.
And the environment is so clean, and the ACs are cool.
I want to commend federal government for the initiative to provide these train services.
And I wish to laud the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari in seeing that this project is a reality.
Please get ready to alight on the right side of the train. Thank you.
Yeah, Modena. Do you have amala? Yes. And Abdullah. Yes, sir. Black or white? Yamala. Have I ever eaten white amala here before? Yes, sir. Give me amala and abula. Do you have dodo? Dodo program. Good. Let me have some dodo. I want you to put the meat in a bowl. Shaki. Suku. A body. I like my edo to be very tender. You have stockfish? Yes, sir. Good. Let's have some stock. And the catfish, my favorite. Don't mind them. Look, you have eggs. I would like 6 boiled eggs. No eggs. The catfish will do. And then rice. Rice and then some salad. Look. Do you have a kuru?
In a bold response to the ethnic and religious agitations that sometimes bedevil the country since the First Republic, an initiative at promoting unity among Nigerians, especially young citizens, was launched by the Vice President in the Federal Capital Territory. Ngufan Shaji reports that this is part of activities to mark the nation's 58th anniversary.
Aniza, themed around unity, togetherness, and a concept of a new tribe in this photo exhibition, captures the history of our heroes' past, showcasing through photography the bonds of unity and oneness that we share as Nigeria. It is a collaboration between the federal government, represented by the media team in the presidency, and the Ministry of Information and Culture, as well as several private promoters and artists drawn from the entire art community. Lilian Novo Isoro, who is the SA Visual Communication and Personal Photographer to the Vice President, is the project visionary. She says Aniza comes from the heart as she knows the impact of images. Like they say, a picture speaks louder than 1,000 words.
Is the largest indigenous languages we have in Nigeria. That's the Hausa, Igbo, and the Yoruba. So we got an AN, the first two letter AN from Igbo, which stands for Anukono, and the meaning of Anukono in Igbo is we be together. So the IS is Yoruba, and it stands for Ishokon. Ishokon Yoruba means unity. Then we have the ZA, which is gotten from Hausa and is for Zamantari. Zamantari in Hausa means togetherness. So we brought these words to form Aniza, meaning that we can actually come together as a country to form greater things.
Vice President Professor Yemi Oshibajo described the exhibition as a tribute to the idea of working in unity, particularly the deliberate attempt to engage younger Nigerians on the issue of developing national unity and the very idea of casting a vision by reflecting our history in a series of photographs that tells our national story as the victories of unity despite diversities.
To build a new Nigeria, we need a new tribe, one tribe, of men and women of all faiths, of all tribes, of all ethnicities, committed to a country run on high values, the high values of integrity, of hard work, of justice, and of love of country. A tribe of men and women who are prepared to make the sacrifices and exercise the self-constraints that is crucial to building a healthy society, and who are prepared to stick together, to fight injustice, to fight corruption, to insist on the rule of law, even when our friends are the receiving end. A tribe consisting of professionals, of businessmen, of politicians, of students, of religious leaders, and all who believe that a new Nigeria is possible.
Through this photo exhibition is expected to be showcased across the 36 states of the country. In Abuja, Gufan Shaji, NTA News.
And now, sports updates with Kene Emadibuke.
Jig Zuhur emerged the overall winner of the 2018 Independence Golf Tournament, which took place at the IBB International Golf and Country Club Abuja. The handicap 26 Chinese played a total gross of 93 with a net score of 67 to outplay handicap 4 Mohamed Suleiman, who scored 76 gross with a net of 72. Joe Kiari Gadzama got special award for placing number 58th on the list.
They're doing well. We're playing good golf. Good golf that we can export anywhere.
Highlight of the event was the cutting of cake to mark the country's 58th independence anniversary. 17-man Team Nigeria billed to participate in the 2018 Youth Olympic Games holding in Buenos Aires, Argentina, have left the country for the event slated for October 6 to 18. Performing the symbolic presentation of the athletes to the Nigeria Olympic Committee, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Youth and Sport, Olushade Adeshola, urged the athletes to use the event as a way to develop themselves and also win medals for the country.
We believe we have provided them the necessary capacity building.
The athletes, comprising 14 females and 3 males, will compete in 8 sporting events. Nigerians are now awaiting the resumption of Super Eagles players at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, following the release of a 24-man list by Super Eagles coach Kenneth Rowe on Monday.